Hello folks and welcome back to another rebuild as we visit Wolves this time around. It doesn't seem that long ago that we did Wolves before, but looking back it was last year actually, about a year ago, and things have not looked any better for them. They are currently lying rock bottom of the league, the only team without a victory, and they were denied just recently at the weekend by a late equaliser to deny them their first win of the season. They are currently on 2 points. They've conceded 14 goals, only scoring 5 as well, but of them 7 games they have lost 5. But things could be looking up as they have drawn the previous 2 games, so maybe a win is on the horizon. So this is where we're going to come in as we will try and turn Wolverhampton Wanderers into European champions. As we are using an updated database as of today, the 6th of October, there will be no transfer window for the first season as we will play with what we have. The greatest era were in the 1950s apparently, boasting a total of 22 competition wins, having winning the top flight in 1954, 58 and 59. That only 3 times winning the top flight, so that's something that we would like to win along our journey this time around. This is their favoured formation, the 4-3-3, which isn't too bad actually. We could easily get on board with, but once again we'll probably end up changing it. So before we go any further, we shall have a look at the transfers, and as you can see they have sold one hell of a lot of talent. Ruben Neves has gone, Cunha has also gone, Silva's gone back to Dortmund. I think he was on loan or something like that. Guedes has also gone. Semedo's gone. A lot of the top players, which is probably the reason why they have been struggling this season. Players coming in are on the left hand side, £13 million worth, including £10.5 million Larson from Vigo, which given their squad still looks quite heavy though, to be honest. There's a lot of players here, and begs the question, why are they struggling? So if we have a look at age, so they haven't really got that many players 13 and above. Out of the 4 that are, 3 of them are goalkeepers, including Jose Sarr, Sam Johnston and Daniel Bentley. The other end of the spectrum, we have got 21-year-old Chirewa, good potential, 21 years old, and a cam player or a midfielder as well, so quite versatile, and depending on what formation we shall use, more than likely we might end up using him, or he might get some game time, we shall see. We've also got Rodrigo Gomez, a 21-year-old, I think, is he a winger as well, and a wing back on that right hand side. Again, another young player that we could potentially use, high potential. I think we could play him a fair bit depending on who we have got. There's a couple of players going out on loan, but we've got Hugo Buemo, a left back, 22-year-old Spaniard. Again, looks pretty reasonable. Wing backs. Now, I am potentially looking at maybe 3 at the back formation here. I don't know. It's a possibility. If you haven't done so already, I am playing an Ilkeston Town save over on Twitch, which I am using a 3 at the back formation, and I'm not kidding. It's unstoppable. We do have the odd games where we just have a little bit of a slip up, but we've gone 3 promotions back to back from tier 7, and we're now sitting in the League Division 2, and we're smashing that league already as well. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, please do so. But I'm very tempted to use that formation. I can show you if we get to use it, obviously. Wolf, 23 years old, another wing back. Goodness me, he's I tell you what, we could be, I'm looking at a 3 at the back at the minute, another wing back. Maybe we need to utilise that rather than a flat back 4. We have got Andre, 23-year-old Brazilian, cam position or midfield. He's only 23 as well, high potential. I tell you what, they have got some decent players, but it does beg the question again, why are they doing so bad? But if we have a look at ability, they got Arias, 27-year-old Colombian, a cam player, wingers. Now that 3 at the back formation does not require wingers, so that could be an issue, but maybe we use this formation that we have got at the moment, but you can play anywhere along that attacking line. We've got Hang Hee Chan, 29 years old, striker, good finishing, reasonably physical and pretty quick actually. He's got a very good aggression and work rate, but the media description has him down as a winger. You can't cross. We've also got Jose Sarr. He's only 32, so well into his prime, so he'll definitely be our goalkeeper for a couple of years unless somebody bags him. Matt Doherty, 33-year-old, again, another wing back. Unbelievable. He doesn't look too bad for 33 years old. That's not bad going as well. So unless we find some defenders in the central, we have got Totti, Portuguese. He's only 26 years old, but I probably would expect a little bit more with the experience. We've also got Bueno, defender. Okay, not brilliant. Maybe 3 at the back might be a stretch then, possibly. Trying to look at Mosquera. Now, he is quite high potential, which we could potentially use as well. So we definitely got 3 defenders. Are they enough? He's 6'2" as well. We shall see. Financially, they have got £38 million in the bank. And like I said, we are not using the transfer window in the first season. Debt's £105 million net debt with a bank loan, a gift loan, and another bank loan. So the gift loan they're not paying out on, that's on departure from the chairman, but other than that they are paying £2 million a month. Staffing wise, a lot to be desired, that is to be sure, and definitely the recruitment side of things, we need to look at that, I feel, as we will want to bring in a lot younger players that they can last the time and restore this club to its former glory, I think. We're also going to try and increase this, something that I have noticed over the last few rebuilds where I'm not sure why, but I keep going to the estimated value. We'll try and increase that from 399 and of course try and see where we're at with the facilities, as well as we will try to increase the youth recruitment from 15, youth coaching as well, but everything else seems pretty standard. 17 and 17, that's really good. If we can get up to near 20, then that's fantastic, but we would like to get the youth thing going. Max Kilman is their captain, 28-year-old Englishman, valued at 24 million. Craig Dawson, the 35-year-old vice captain. I didn't notice him in the squad though, to be fair. Andre is the key player and a hot prospect, Akudua, which, let's have a quick look. He's worth up to 8 million. A right wing back, once again, high potential. Interesting. Hopefully we'll be able to bring some lads through from the youth setup. In fact, let's have a quick look at that as well. Under 21s, let's have a quick look overview, and if we go from highest potential, really, Pedro Lima, he's out on loan. Wow, he looks pretty decent actually. Again, a right back. Wow, what is it with signing a lot of right backs? We got Gonzalez as well, 20-year-old winger. Oh my goodness, for 20 years old, that is not bad stats at all, although his pace is a lot to be desired, and well, fitness is there, just he's not very quick, is he? Corners, crossings, again, needs training on that though. Inside forward possibly, long shots maybe, 11, it's not too bad. Other than that, some of his stats are pretty good. If we have a look at our under 18 squad then maybe, and there is quite a few high potential. Okudua, 17 years old, we're going to have to keep an eye on him. And there's Mane as well, Mateus, winger or striker. Okay, he's got a lot of work, but he is 17 years old. So let's move ourselves along past the window to the start of the season, and we'll be straight back. So with the window over, this is the formation we have settled on. We've gone with a straight back four, mainly because we haven't got enough centre backs. If we had 3 at the back, that would leave us 1 centre back, and I don't think he's registered, and that's Agbadu. He's not registered, so we're down to 3 centre backs, which isn't ideal. Mosquera, I want him to have the game time, so he's going to be locked in. The same with João Gomez as well. But we are going for a 4-2-3-1 with 2 midfielders as opposed to DMs, although we could drop him down to DMs, but I want to give this one a go. I wanted to utilise the attacking force that we have got, which eventually I think we may change the formation again to have a more attackers possibly. I shall see. It depends what happens this season, I guess, and if the wingers actually do anything. Andre can play in the DMs, same with Gomez, but I'm going to push them up front so we've got some more attacking threats. And because of that, we beat Liverpool first game of the season 1-0. Gomez, Rodrigo getting the goal after half an hour. Quite bizarre, however. We did go on to lose against Fulham a week later, so that didn't make any sense whatsoever, but we did beat Sunderland at home, so the home games we are winning, so that's good news, but only just. And we only just scraped past Northampton in the Carabao Cup second round on penalties. With that being said, we are lying 6th in the table, which is a decent start with 2 wins already. So we're doing a lot better than what they're doing in real life. So that's an added bonus. And predictions for this season, if we have a quick look as well. Well, we're not bottom, but we are 600 to 1 to win the league at 15th spot. So let's jump into our first season and let's see what these lads can do. That season proved to be harder than expected. However, we did beat Fulham 2-1 to get our own back on them from earlier on in the season. We went on thereafter to beat Bournemouth 1-0 as well, so wins were coming very few and far between. However, we did go on to beat Arsenal towards the end of the season with a fantastic 2-0 victory at home. And then we had to wait to the very end of the season to go and spank Manchester United 5-1 at home to give us our best result of the season, which in the end gave us an 11th place finish, which isn't too bad at all. However, we only won at 12 games, losing 15 with a minus goal differences. We do finish well above the relegation by a good 12 points and just 11 points off a top 7 finish and 9 points off a European spot as well. The top 9 all into Europe. Competition wise, however, is even better. The FA Cup, we got knocked out by West Ham, losing out on penalties at the semi-final stage. And the Carabao Cup, we lost again in the semi-finals to Crystal Palace this time at 3-2 over the 2 legs as well. Squad-wise, however, if we just have a look at our 2 locked players in, Mosquera, he played 47 games, looks okay. He is only 25 years old, just a couple of stats going up, not too much, but he weighed in with 2 goals. And Gomez looks pretty good as well, 8 and 7. The Brazilian going up a few stats as well. But if we have a look at overall goal scorers, 21 goals then for Larson, which isn't bad actually for a sole striker up top on his own. Arias as well weighs in with 11 and 10, which isn't too bad. Gomez with 10 assists for Chan as well. So our front line isn't too bad at all, and they're relatively young, apart from Chan, who's getting on a little bit. 39 games played though, still playing at a 6.9, so nobody really reaching 7 rating, which is very, very unfortunate. So next season we may have to rethink the formation just a little bit, I think, and with that we will need some cash, which, wow, we've got a fantastic amount there, £93 million to spend. We haven't got it in the bank, but I'll definitely take it, and we've got about 100,000 a week in wages as well, which we may have to transfer some of that in there, but we should be able to make some inroads into the window this time. So it's been a somewhat busy window as we let go of quite a few players. Muniz Hetzi, he's gone to Norwich for 6.5 million. We also lose Boubacar Traore to Levante to 3.2 million. Chetichua, he's gone to Crystal Palace for 3. We also lose Rakode and Sarr as well, including some other players and a couple on a free as well. So 15.5 million in. We had to fill in a homegrown quota as we were very, very short of that, unfortunately, and these guys had to go in order for that to happen. So first player through the door is Krejci. He was on loan to us last season, and I think there was an obligation to buy, of which that was already done, so we didn't have a say. So £26 million in the end as a centre back. From AZ for £7.5 million, we're bringing another right wing back in the name of Denso Casillas. Pretty decent, very, very physical and damn quick as well. So he's going to be one of our main men or first teamers. 5 games for us already, with 2 goals and 2 assists already. From Strasbourg for £14.5 million, another centre back. Defender in the name of Abakar Sila, a very, very good defender, 6'2", physical, mentally he's fantastic as well, and yeah, all around stats are superb. From Wrexham for £36 million, mainly because we had to fill in the English quota or homegrown quota. We're bringing Callum Doyle, a centre back option. He can also play left as well, but again, 6'3", pretty decent. And finally, just before we played Everton, we steal their striker Ndeye for £27 million. He's going to be one of our backup strikers unless he can force himself into the first team. He has played 3 games, 3 off the bench, 2 starts with 2 goals already. So hopefully he might squeeze himself into that lineup up front. So I did say we're going to change the formation. This is the formation I am using on Twitch currently with Ilkeston Town. We've only locked in Doyle. We're scoring more goals than you. That's the idea, and hopefully not concede as many. If we pick our best 11, it does come up like this, which isn't too bad at all actually. It's a very, very solid side with the midfield duo of Gomez and Andre. And as you can see, we have been scoring goals. We started our campaign with a very good result against Arsenal, 3-2. We did draw with Everton in the end, unfortunately. Then we smashed Southampton and West Ham. And Portsmouth, well, didn't stand a chance, unfortunately. 9-1 victors in the home tie in the Carabao Cup. Now we have got Luton away. We are currently lying in third position, 3 wins and a draw with a goal difference of 8 so far. And this season's preview sees us climb a little closer up towards the top with 200-1 to win the league. So let's jump into season 2 and let's see what happens with this new formation. This season brought quite a few surprises, including this one of all, 7-0 against Newcastle. We did go on to beat Everton 2-1 also, and a player of the match performance by Gomez sees us win 4-2 at Old Trafford. Liverpool were also put to the sword away from home, and Man City didn't escape either in the last game of the season, which in the end gave us an incredible 6th position and a European spot as well. We're in the UEFA Cup next year, boys. With a phenomenal play this time around. Put it down to the formation, I don't know, but 12 losses, 23 goal difference and 62 points. Still way off from the top team Arsenal, but that win over Man City last game of the season, that could have made a big difference as to who won the league. And to top things off, we come away with the Carabao Cup this season thanks to an 84th minute winner in a 1-0 victory over Liverpool. The FA Cup, we got as far as the quarter-finals, losing to Sheffield Wednesday 3-1 at home. We got a little bit of a paste in there, but Arsenal, Man United and Spurs all go through at the same time, which probably would have proved difficult as Sheffield United get to the final actually, losing to Arsenal in the end. But they did beat Manchester United on penalties. Wow, well done to them. Squad-wise as well, as we look at Callum Doyle, he looks pretty good as well. Only 23 years old, the player that we locked in. A couple of stats going up. He is 6'3" and looking good all the time. And if we look at goals scored, 26 goals for Larson, then 16 for Chan, and Sasa gets 16 also. A lot of other players that are getting goals as well, which is fantastic. 10 assists though for Wolf. Casillas as well, 13. 11 for Doyle, which is phenomenal. Unfortunately, he didn't get a goal this time round. And goalkeeper wise, Sam Johnson weighs in with conceding 61 goals in 47 with 14 clean sheets. I think we will need to upgrade our goalkeeper. I think going into the next season, and I think 89 million is going to help us in that cause, as we may need to replace a couple of other players as well. This window we lose a couple of players, including Kaladizic. He's gone to Burnley for up to £40.5 million, which was quite a good deal actually. We bought him for about 25, so we do make some money on him as well. Totti's gone to Alves for 1.4, and we lose Chan as well to Crystal Palace for £20 million. This makes way for some of the youngsters that we have brought in to thrive up top. So our first signing from Bologna for 7.75. We bring in a better goalkeeper really. Sam Johnson's not too bad. He conceded quite a lot last season, but he is at 34 now, so he probably got about a year left on him really, to be fair. And Meslier is an experienced goalkeeper that can actually go ahead of him and fit in that number 1 jersey. From Bournemouth, we spent £20 million on Junior Krupe, high potential striker. We're going to lock him in this season, as you can see, he's could be our best striker at the club eventually. Oliver Skipp comes in from Leicester for 35 million as another decent midfielder. In fact, he's probably our second best midfielder at the moment, ahead of Gomez, but we have got a good array of midfielders now. From Everton, 34 million, we bring in Jared Branthwaite, a centre back. He's going to be locked in as well, as he comes in as our second best centre back. Hopefully he'll play alongside Doyle and Seiler. And from Dinamo Tilsi, for £500,000, we're going to bring in a 19-year-old left wing back. Very, very quick. He can cross the ball as well, and got some very good potential on him. There wasn't many really good left wing backs out there, and we really haven't got a pretty good backup. Buemo's not too bad, but Saba Karbashevli is slightly better, I feel, and at 19 years old, them stats can only go up. So we're sticking with the same formation. We're locking in Krupe and Karabashvili. And if we pick our best 11, I'm sure they will go out as they do. And even so, without them in it, the side looks pretty solid. And we've got off to a flyer with wins over Manchester City, Liverpool. We did lose to Arsenal, but what a start to a season though. Them 3 teams on the back of scoring tons of goals in the friendlies, we get reduced to just scoring a few goals. So nice to get them big guns out the way first. The Europa League for this season, we've got Partizan, Nijmegen, Bologna, Sevilla, Liga, Vikinga, Red Star Belgrade and Sporting, who we did beat 5-1 in a friendly. We've started off okay because we played them top 3 teams. 2 wins and a loss. I'll take that all day long. 6 points, 3 points behind the leaders. Hopefully we'll get into the closer to the top teams. We are predicted 19th in the Europa League table, so that's not too bad. But Manchester United, there, Leipzig, PSV Rangers, Galatasaray, who else is in there? I mean, everybody else we should be able to beat. Bologna might prove to be a little bit of a problem, but apart from that, I think we should be looking at the next round minimum. And the season preview has us in the top 10, 200 to 1 to win the league. So let's jump into our 3rd season and see where this takes us. This season threw up quite a few interesting results, including the 6-0 battering of Nottingham Forest at home, although we were on the receiving end of a 5-0 loss away at Spurs. A Krupe winner in the 80th minute sees us win away at Manchester City 2-1. As he did it again, this time against Liverpool at home, and it was a minute earlier, in fact, the 79th minute, Krupe got the winner. And the final day of the season sees us beat Newcastle 2-0. Which did give us a 3rd position place in the table and a Champions League spot. A time to hit the big time, it feels. 72 points, 3 points off second place Man City, and 15 from Arsenal, who seem to have dominated the league for the past 3 seasons now. Larsson gets on the golden boot list. 20 goals this season, 13 behind Haaland, who wins it. Doyle gets most assists for the season as well, so it's nice to see some of our players getting amongst all the higher rated players. But the Carabao Cup has been won, and emphatically as well. 4 goals from Larsson, 3 from Krupe in a resounding 7-0 win over United. And it didn't stop there either, as we played Manchester United in the Europa League final. We've made it to the end and we beat them 4-2 this time. So unbelievably, we've come away with 2 trophies this season, a 3rd place finish, and the FA Cup we got as far as the semi-finals, losing to Chelsea after extra time as well. So we're very unfortunate not to make it to a 3rd final this season. But the Europa League, goodness me, 4-2. If we have a look at the league phase, we finished in 4th position, 19 points. With the only one loss against Bologna, and Legia Warsaw we drew, but we battered everybody else, including Red Star Belgrade, a 7-2 win there, and Partizan as well, 7-1, and a 7-2 against Sevilla. Goodness me, that's it won't stick on it. Stay. Okay, we'll look at it there though. 7-2 against Sevilla. That is just insane. So straight to the round of 16, where we played at Legia Warsaw, and we stuck another 7 goals past them. 7-1 over the 2 legs. Quarterfinals, we played Galatasaray, and wow, what a game that is. 8-5. 3-3 after the first leg. That's crazy. A lot of goals flying in though. The semi-finals, we played Sevilla again, and this time it was a 5-3 outcome, with United beating Fiorentina 5-3 as well. But most impressive of all is that 7-0 battering over Manchester United in the Carabao. What on earth's happened there? Larsson, leading goal scorer. Granted, majority of the goals came in there, same with Groupie. You know, it's that kind of propelled him to the top of the list. So I'm quite excited to see what our squad did in the end. So our 3 players that we locked in, Krupe, well, he didn't let us down at all, and he's looking phenomenal, isn't he? At 21 years old. Stats looks like they're going up. Nothing outstanding just yet, but his anticipation's up, and same with his agility as well, so that's pretty good. But 43 goals and 13 assists. That's phenomenal. And Larsson, who's at 28 now, 35 and 19, making a good pairing up top. Same with DA as well, 18 and 9, 18 and 11 for Arias as well. Branthwaite weighs in with 15 goals. Wow, from centre back. That's crazy. Oh wow, look at Tommy Doyle. 27 assists. In fact, I could see one better as well. He got 14 goals. Saba, he got 9 and 19. Andre, 11 assists with 8 goals. But Cassius, 28 assists. And Meslier, oh my goodness, 99 goals conceded. Oh, does that mean we need to do better at the back? Because it clearly looks that way. We can't look for another goalkeeper, surely, as we've got Bentley and Johnson still. I mean, they could be moved on. Johnson's won't sign a new contract, so he'll be leaving at the end of the season, so possibly another one. But I think we might stick with him another season, see what happens. But 99 goals conceded, that is crazy. In fact, we're missing a defender. We are, and that's because Silo's gone to Manchester City. He's gone for £45.5 million. So we lost him for 13 games. Or halfway through the season, they nicked him up. We did make a handsome profit, but even so, that's probably why we conceded so much. So getting into the next window, we have been given, oh goodness me, £103 million to spend. Well, we'll need a backup goalkeeper, that's for sure. We need a defender, and I think we should be golden for the rest of the team, actually. I think we'll probably leave it as it is, but definitely make a good go of spending this much. So just a couple of players we say goodbye to. We lose Giga. He's gone to PSV for 1.3 million. Sam Johnson's gone to Saudi Arabia, actually. On a free, he didn't sign his new contract. Bueno, he's gone to Hull for 4.1, and Bellegarde, he's gone to Villarreal for 8.5, bringing in an extra £14 million. First through the door was from Anderlecht for £33 million. We're bringing a defender. Bags of potential, looks really physical. 6'3", right-footed, to play on the right side of our defence. I think we're going to be locking him in, actually, and his value has suddenly shot up. He's played 6 games for us already without a goal, but he is playing at 6.9 currently. From Spurs, we splash out 63 million. Vitor Roque, he's going to be another forward. I felt like we needed somebody a little bit stronger and a little bit more experience, really, and he has come from Tottenham, I think I said. He did play Leicester on loan, but it's 53 and 137. He's only 23 years old, bags of potential, and already I feel like we're going to get our money back on him as well. 6 games for us already, 3 goals, 2 assists, 1 in the league. And finally, we had a little bit of money left from AZ, 4.8 million. We bring in Rome Jaden Azwu Aduro, a goalkeeper, and in fact he's slightly better than Meslier as well. So we're going to lock him in for this season, see how well he does. And in fact, I can tell you now, he has done remarkably well already. Conceding 1 goal in 3 games, 2 clean sheets, playing at 7.17. I don't know how long that'll last, but he's 6'3" anyway, right-footed. He looks pretty solid. And if I can quickly show you the goalkeepers that we have got, Meslier, he's played 4 games, conceded 9. This young man at 24 has conceded 1 in 3 with 2 clean sheets. I mean, that is a little bit different. And we have locked in a couple of defenders, as you can see here, because for some reason they don't play. We seem to have an array of different defenders playing each time, so I want them 3 to be our mainstead at the back, helping out the young defender. Of course, we're locking in the goalkeeper. Saba's going to be locked in as well as Krupi up front. So if we do pick our best 11, for some reason everything changes at the back. Probably it should be like that, but I want the other players to get the game time as we lose our wing backs. Doyle and Skip come into the centre, which is quite good. And our front line, Day comes in instead of Krupi at the top, in which Vitor Roque takes precedent, which probably really should happen as well. But I feel like the other 3 are our best options up front. So far, we've beaten Southampton at 4-3. This was when Meslier was in goal. 3 goals conceded in that one. We also played Norwich. Meslier was in goal for that one. We conceded 3 and we lost. Surprise result there away from home. Burnley, when we changed goalkeepers, we won 2-0 at home. Our first clean sheet of the season. Brighton, we win 3-1. And Everton, we've just beaten in the Carabao Cup. We have, however, got a couple of more trophies. We've won the UEFA Super Cup. We've beat the Champions League winners Manchester City on penalties after a sending off by Skip. How we've managed that, I've got no idea, but we'll take it. It's another European trophy. It's not the main one, but that's 2 European trophies on the bounce now. And also, we did win this Euro South American Club Challenge, a 4-1 victory over, not sure who they were actually, to be honest. I think it was Belgrano. So yeah, very impressed with that as well. So Champions League, we've been pitted against Shakhtar, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Astana, Sparta Prague, Bayern Munich and Ajax. I'm not going to lie, there are a couple of teams I would expect us to beat, like Mönchengladbach, maybe Astana and Prague. We might get out of this group, I don't know. We are lying second in the table currently, level on points with Leicester and just behind Spurs. So Arsenal, who have dominated over the previous seasons, are lying in 6th position. Champions League predicted 29th. I think that's outside the qualifying, so I think I would like to think that we could qualify. And the season preview has us jump into 8th position now, 100-1 now to win the league. Nobody in the Dream 11 as yet, but I think that'll change in the next couple of seasons. So let's jump into our 4th season and see how we do in the UCL. Started the season off superbly yet again, this time with a 5-0 victory over Chelsea, before we were humbled by Manchester City, who took revenge of us beating them in the UEFA Super Cup. Arsenal were relentless as well as they battered us 5-2, but things started to look for us as we hit Manchester United for 4. Chelsea were quickly humbled again by ourselves, winning 6-2. And 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes helped us beat Liverpool at home 3-1 to help our chances at the top of the table. And in the end, we finished in 4th position, which isn't too bad. I think that's a couple of more points more than last season. We finished behind Liverpool, ironically, despite beating them. Tottenham were 6 points ahead, and 4 points further were Manchester City, who broke up the monopoly of Arsenal, who finished below us, in fact, by a good 5 points. But 10 points from the leaders is some big improvement. Krupi, 20 goals, 2 goals behind Haaland, who wins the Golden Boot this time around. Competition-wise, however, it didn't go so well. Carabao Cup, however, despite getting to the final for the last 2 seasons, we got knocked out by Norwich away. And in the 4th round, we lost to League One side Bolton. But the Champions League, we got all the way to the round of 16, losing to Barcelona 6-3 over the 2 legs. But in the league phase, however, we did finish in 11th position, which is fantastic. 5 wins, in fact. Sparta Prague, I expected to win. Astana as well. Atletico Madrid beat 2-1 and Mönchengladbach 3-1 with Shakhtar as well. Drew with Ajax and, of course, losing to Bayern and AC Milan. PSG were the only team unbeaten, finishing top of the group. And if we go to the knockout rounds, we played Atletico again, this time beating them 6-5 narrowly, despite losing the second leg 3-2. So overall, the Champions League kind of took it out of us, I think. However, we do concede a lot of goals. Wow. Okay, 70 goals we conceded. I mean, that's literally the 4th highest in the league. Despite scoring 100 goals, we conceded 70, so maybe the formation will have to change now, I think. Clearly not working. Despite getting a higher position and scoring more goals on the opposition, we're conceding far too many. And if we didn't concede as much, we probably would win the league and do better in the competitions. However, 30 goals this time for Krupi. Rogue got 27 and 10, which is fantastic. 18 and 14 for Larson, who seems to have dropped off a little bit. We've got Ndeye, 10 and 4. 10 and 12 for Doyle as well from midfield. That's pretty good as well. Our defender got 9 goals, our young one, 21 years old. Looks pretty decent as well. Is he progressing much? He has progressed a couple of stats up this way. Skip, he played 40 games, 4 and 6. Cassius, 5 and 9. So not as many assists though from our wing backs. Saba, he got 15 this time around, with Doyle helping along the way with 14. And wow, good grief. Yeah, there's our we definitely need to change this formation. 98 goals conceded from Aduru. I'm holding high hopes for him, but the Dutch goalkeeper just hasn't had any help in front of him, has he, by looks of things? I don't know where we go from here. I don't want to go out into the market and buy another goalkeeper, but something in my head is telling me I think you need to. Definitely a formation change as well. I think 3 at the back is a little bit too much. So going into next season, £80 million this time to spend. Let's spend it wisely. So once more, not a lot of people going out the door. Unfortunately, we do lose Krejci, defender. He was getting ahead of some of the youngsters, and he's gone to Everton for up to 13.25. Whoever's gone to Pisa for 825,000. A couple have been released and a few out on loan. Other than that, he only brought in an extra 13 mil in the end. However, from Lyon, our first signing, Hector Fort, a right back or right wing back, whichever we choose to position him as. He comes in for about 33 million pounds. As you can see, he's played 5 games for us already with a goal, none in the league so far, but he looks really good, and at 23 years old can definitely have that position. Next up, from Borussia Mönchengladbach for 38 million, we're bringing Arthur Vermeeren, a midfielder or a DM option. He comes in as a 24-year-old to play in either of them positions, whether to fight for a first team place or be as a backup. Already he's had 1 start, 4 off the bench with 2 goals, and 2 of them goals have been in the league. Fantastic. And from River Plate for 10 million, we're bringing Hugo Manfredi. He's going to be a cam position or midfielder, but you'll soon see the formation that we have got. You'll notice why we have gone for that position. Very good. 19 years old, so hopefully he will get the game time required. Fantastic first touch, vision, technique's wonderful, physical's not too bad as well for a 19-year-old, and lots of potential. So tactically this season we are going to go for a 4-3-3 diamond or a 4-4-2 diamond, whichever way you want to look at it. We're still going to have 3 strikers, one as a shadow striker, but Manfredi can play there as well, and we've dropped one into a DM position to help out the defence and dropped our wing backs back, so hopefully it'll be more cover for our goalkeeper as well. It's gone okay so far this season. We're unbeaten. We haven't conceded as many goals, but we're still conceding, but we're still scoring at the same time. Our first 3 games, Everton, Arsenal and Spurs, we drew, so I was beginning to wonder what we needed to do, so we changed one of the positions. I think the DM was an anchor before, hence the 3 draws, and since we changed it to defensive midfielder on support, we've scored 8 goals, so we'll leave it at that. So a 3-0 against Manchester United, 5-2 against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup 3rd round. The Champions League, we've been drawn against AC Milan, Villarreal, Sociedad, Inter Milan, Prague, Stuttgart, Ajax and Benfica. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher this time around. We are lying in 8th position, unbeaten, but 3 draws have hampered us severely, I think. But as long as we can jump into that 4th spot again to get into the Champions League, I'd be happy. 23rd position in the Champions League as opposed to 29th last time, but we did fare a lot better in the end. And this season's preview still has us down in 8th position. However, we are 50-1 now. So we are pretty much the best of the rest behind City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs and Manchester United. So yeah, that's probably about fair, but I really want to jump into the top 6 if we can, just to give our players a bit more of a chance. So let's jump into season 5 then, and let's see if we can make any more inroads in the Champions League as well as domestically. First half of the season started very well. Only 2 losses thus far, with a Larson hat-trick giving us a 4-1 victory over Manchester City, which not long after we smashed Liverpool 3-0. We didn't concede that many goals this season, surprisingly, with the early exception being a 4-3 victory over Southampton, a close call there. Burnley we smashed 4-1. Ipswich were taken to the sword as well, 6-2, and Liverpool final game of the season, a 4-3 victory at Anfield, which in the end gave us a 3rd place finish. So for 4th last season, back to 3rd this season, ahead of Manchester City and Liverpool, with them wins propelling us up to 3rd position. 6 points behind Arsenal, who finished in 2nd. Manchester United win the league. Larson, 18 goals this season with Roke as well. If we have a look more closely, we only conceded 45 goals this season, which is a massive improvement on previous seasons, nearly half than what we conceded last season. I think we conceded 70 goals. Yeah, 70 goals last season. And we only lost 5 games this season. The other games were to Leeds, United and Arsenal. So that's not probably surprising that the top 2 teams have finished above us. But to how things could have been different. Competition-wise, we did win the Carabao Cup. Again, I think that's the 3rd time we've won it in this rebuild. It's amazing. We beat Spurs on penalties after a 2-2 draw. The FA Cup, we got to the final in that one finally, and we lost 3-1 to Arsenal. So Arsenal almost doing the double to some way up, but they do beat us to that trophy. And the Champions League, a quarter-final appearance. Although, despite being smashed 6-1 in the away leg, we were 5-1 up in the first. Wow, we lost 7-6 overall. That is disappointing, having won in the first leg and just cannot hold off in the second. The league phase, however, we did finish in 10th position, so big improvement as well. Benfica would beat Stuttgart, Sparta Prague, Villarreal and AC Milan, and again not conceding many goals. A 2-2 draw with Ajax and Inter, and Sociedad we lose to. Yeah, much better performance there. 16 points. So it's only goal difference again that pushed us out of the top 8. And Manchester City are the only team unbeaten in the league phase. So we went straight to the knockout rounds where we played Juventus and we beat them 5-1 thanks to a 4-0 first leg victory. Round of 16 we beat PSG. That is a huge scalp, 2-0. It looks like we lost the first leg and then we won the second, so that's fantastic. And then unfortunately we did go out in the quarters, and it was Arsenal who went on to win it against Bayern Munich after extra time. Squad wise, however, we didn't lock anybody in, so 27 goals then for Roque, 27 for Larson, still doing the business, 18 and 10 for Krupi, so he's still getting his goals in and round about, 13 for Vermeeren, Manfredi 11 and 5, we've got Dei 8 and 5, 23 assists there for Doyle, brilliant, 11 for Fort and Saber as well. So they have dropped off in the terms of assists, but they are being hung back a little bit more to help the defence out. So I can't grumble too much. Oduro played 4 games, conceded 2 assists. And Meslier, who got his number 1 shirt back, 69 conceded and 62 with 19 clean sheets. That's much better. It's a lot better reading than conceded 90 odd goals in a season. And we played a lot more games as well, I feel, as well. So yeah, a much better performance. So going into next season, I think we'll stick with the same formation because it's given us a platform to work on. Although the front line, we may have to change it a little bit. Maybe push Krupi up front alongside Roque, and then Manfredi can take that cam position all on his own, and we'll have Larson as a backup, although he did score 27 goals this season, so maybe we leave it blank for them to fight it out again, who knows. But next season, £98 million as we go again in the Champions League, as we aim to win the overall competition. And we have 126 in the bank as well, which is fantastic. Debts wise, that looks like it has increased. 29 million left on the bank loan. It looks like we may have had a new one, mortgage loan, I don't know. Maybe we had an additional amount, but an overall net debt of 806,000, which is good. But more importantly, we've got 98 to spend. So just a couple of players leaving of note. And he's gone to Real Hispalis for £23 million. We couldn't really turn down the offer for the 30-year-old. We also lose Arias as well. He's gone to Bologna on a free. Didn't want to sign his new contract. One was offered for a year extension. He just didn't want to. He wasn't really getting much game time towards the end. Wolf, same reason really. Despite getting some game time, he's gone to Saudi Arabia on a free as well. And then Agbagadou, he's gone to Troyes on a free as well. So other than that, they're the main first teamers that we did have that have actually gone. But 23 added, which meant we could spend a little bit more cash. Our main signing for this season is Baliba. We bring him in for £52 million from Brighton as a defensive midfielder or midfielder, whichever one that he decides to play in. I think he's played a couple of games already, 5 starts, a goal and an assist, which is fantastic. There's plenty of talk about him in real life, so let's hope he can live up to them expectations. From Stuttgart for £31 million, we bring in a backup cam player. He can also play in the midfield as well, which is going to be quite handy. So, again, hopefully he'll get ahead of Manfredi at some point. But he's had 2 games off the bench already, not really making an impact. Again, another young player with a lot of potential. And finally, from Saint Etienne for £17.5 million, we bring in Teddy Boulet. Because we lost Wolf, we didn't really have another left-sided defender. And this 19-year-old sort of fits the bill. Hopefully he'll get some game time. He's had 1 off the bench already. Bags of potential. Looks really physical as well. And at 6'1", I think he's pretty quick for that. So hopefully he'll get a little bit of game time and develop. as at the moment we are unbeaten, which is fantastic, and we're not conceding that many goals apart from the last 2 games. So we beat Spurs, we beat Liverpool, beat Man City, we also beat Burnley, all by conceding 2 goals, but we haven't scored that many either. Everton we beat in the Carabao Cup 3rd round 3-2, and at Newcastle we've just drawn with, despite having a 2-0 lead and thrown it away in the second half. The Champions League, we've got Rennes, Bayern Munich, Porto, Malmo, Spurs, Real Madrid, Celtic and Wolfsburg. I'm expecting to go through in that competition really. We are lying top of the table, which is a sight we haven't seen for quite a while, if at all. And the Champions League, we are predicted around about 17th. So hopefully we might scrape into the top 8 this time around. And if we have a look at the predictions for this season, I'm hoping they're going to be a bit higher. Okay, we're still in 8th, but we are now 50-1. Or were we that before? I can't remember. But everybody else seems to have, odds have been slashed. Ours seem to have either stayed the same or has been slashed. I just don't know. But again, we're not seeing anybody in the Dream 11 just yet. So let's jump into Season 6 now. And let's see if we can capitalise on the last season's good form and carry it on into this season. As results went our way, the first half of the season, a 5-1 victory over Fulham was one of the main ones that really stood out, as well as the 1-0 beating of Chelsea away from home. The second half started not too bad, not scoring many goals. However, a 1-0 victory over Spurs in the January was a welcome delight. Brentford were not long after soundly beaten, as well as Arsenal at home. But wins over Southampton towards the end of the season were a must-win games, and thankfully they did go our way in the end, including this one 2-0, and Leicester away from home 3-0, and then a home game beating West Ham 2-0 also. And that did give us the victory and the Premier League in our 6th season, which is fantastic. To top it off as well, we only conceded 36 goals. That's less than games played. Man City did the same as well, though, only conceded 37. Wow, okay. Chelsea conceded 35 and Spurs only 33. Okay, I thought we did pretty well. Clearly not. Not as good as them. But however, we did score 72 goals, which is brilliant. And 80 points, winning the league by 2 points from Man City and Arsenal. The Carabao Cup was won for the 4th time this rebuild with a 3-1 victory over Norwich. However, we did suffer against Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, losing 2-1 after extra time, of which they went on to the final but somehow lost to West Ham 2-0. But more important than that, we lift the UCL Cup against Inter Milan in the final. A 54th minute penalty by Roque wins the game for us, and we are finally champions of Europe. Even though we did win the Europa League and the UEFA Super Cup, we have won the ultimate prize. The league phase, we finished in 4th position in the end, qualifying straight to the round of 16 with 6 victories over Wolfsburg, Celtic, Real Madrid, Malmo, Porto and Rennes. We drew with Bayern and lost to Spurs. Surprisingly, Spurs finished in 14th position there. PSG, the only team unbeaten. Straight to the round of 16, we played Lyon and absolutely battered them 7-3 with a 5-1 victory at home in the second leg. The quarters, we played Leipzig and we beat them 5-2, 3-0 at home in the second leg, which takes us to the semi-finals against PSG, Barcelona or Inter. We know it's not going to be Inter. And we played PSG and we beat them again. I think we beat them last season in the Champions League, and we beat them again this time round thanks to a first leg lead, winning the overall 4-3, of which Inter beat Barcelona 4-2, and of course the final, the 1-0 win. That is amazing. Arsenal won it last season. There's a lot of English clubs winning it, but yeah, Wolverhampton Wanderers, champions of Europe. Squad wise, however, let's have a quick look then. 36 goals then for Roque with 12 assists, 32 for Krupe, 18 and 11 from Manfredi. Fantastic. Larson still weighed in with 15 starts, 39 off the bench, 14 and 4. Not bad for the 31-year-old. Doyle, 29 years now, 12 and 22 assists. Marvellous. Fort at right back, 20 assists, 15 there for Belieber. Marvellous. and Saba 16 assists as well. They just needed to get used to the positionings really. And wow, would you just look at our goalkeeper. Meslier has done it again. 57 this time, conceded from 61 with 26 clean sheets. That is a much better return from our goalkeepers as well. So this file save will be available to you on Ko-fi.com. I'll leave the description below. But to go with this file where you can carry it on, go on to dominate more European trophies, or just have a look at the formation, etc. and the players. But to go with that, you will be given £93 million going into the next season. And overall club info, so that has any of these improved? So we've got training facilities, it was 17 last time, it's dropped. Wow, that's amazing. However, youth facilities have stayed the same at 17. Youth recruitment, that has increased from 15 to 17. And junior coaching as well, that's gone up from 14 to 17 as well. And we're a 5-star reputation as well. We're rich and we are worth £1.55 billion. Gone up from 399 million right at the start. That is phenomenal. So we have improved quite a lot of things there. Andre is now the captain. Branthwaite is the vice captain. The key player is Hector, and the hot prospect, Mate Bora. Let's have a quick look at him. He's worth £23 million. Lots of potential. Looks okay as a cam player. Got very good flair at 20 at now. And media description has him down as an attacking midfielder. Brilliant. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. With the FM26 just around the corner, please let me know down in the comments who you would like to see rebuilt. Until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.